Hey, Dr. Paul, let me share with you another huge client success story. Got a phone call today from one of my clients, and he'd been in practice 30 years, never had any real success with getting personal injury attorney referrals. So he hires me to teach him personal injury documentation and marketing, which is a very successful program. Matter of fact, it's one of the programs I use to open 77 offices in 20 states. So he learns the documentation first, then he learns the presentation. So he had his first meeting with 3 attorneys, does the presentation. So what are the results? First, after he does the presentation, exactly like we teach it, he gets all 3 attorneys agree to refer him as their soft tissue injury clients, number 1. That's easily worth over $100,000, $200,000 a year right there. Number 2 is they ask him to be the expert witness for all their other soft tissue injury cases with all their other doctors. And number 3, on the spot, the attorneys asked for his phone number if they could call him regularly with questions about all the material he covered, and they personally put his phone number, his cell phone number, in their cell phone number on the spot right there, so they could call him. That's what happens when you know documentation and marketing. And the reason it's so successful, and the reason it's typically not successful for most chiropractors, is most chiropractors don't know the documentation. So there's a huge opportunity in soft tissue injury, personal injury, and especially attorney referrals, because 87% of all the accidents are soft tissue injury. Only 32% are disc, 16% are nerve, 10% are mild concussion, 2% are fracture. So there's a huge, basically 2/3 of it are soft tissue injuries. It's a market. And that niche is not filled by anybody. Well, they don't need chiropractors for disc. They have the neurosurgeon, they have the orthopedic surgeon. They don't need chiropractors for nerve problems. They got the neurologist, neurosurgeon. They don't need the chiropractor for concussion or fracture either. Well, that's fine. But so the big market is 2/3 of the market is in the soft tissue injury, and there's nobody filling that category. The bad news, and the reason attorneys are not looking for chiropractors, is they're confused. Just like number 1, they're confused just like the rest of the population. That's why 92% of the population does not see chiropractors, because they're confused with all the mixed messaging of chiropractic, saying chiropractors can do everything. Well, that creates a tremendous amount of confusion, and confusion gets people to stay away. Number 2, they've dealt with, and most of the time, if they've dealt with the chiropractors, the documentation's been horrendous, been terrible. So there's a tremendous market, but the attorneys are in a state of unconscious incompetence, and they don't think a chiropractor can help them all. If anything, they think most chiropractors are going to hurt them. That's why you don't get referrals. Well, that changes, number 1, when you know what's called high sensitivity, high relevancy documentation. There's actually 5 reasons we do what's called high sensitivity documentation, very specific tests for very specific problems. Number 2, we do high relevancy documentation. It's specific and relevant to the soft tissue spinal injury. Number 3, we only use medically accepted diagnostics. Number 4, we take that documentation and put it into a very specific 12-step narrative format that tells the story to support the injury award. And if it goes to court or deposition or trial, we have a 25-step category, basically to tell the story and support the injury award in a trial. And that's exactly the information that I use to never lose a case in court when testifying for my patients. So anyway, he learned this. So he learns the documentation, then he learns the marketing, learns the presentation. First presentation, right out of the box, 3 attorney referrals, gets all the referrals. He's the expert witness now for that law firm, and he personally they asked him for his number, okay? And this is exactly how you not only get referrals, but you have attorneys stop asking you to cut your bills. This is how it's done. In other words, you create value. And that's what we teach. So if you're interested in learn, and that's a lot. He's probably, that one presentation probably increased his business easily $250,000 a year. 92% of my clients increase their business over $100,000 a year within 90 days when they use this system. So it's unbelievably highly effective. So if you're interested in learning how to do that, learning high sensitivity, high relevancy documentation, well, that's only one part of the equation. The second part of that equation is, how do you change that attorney's mind from a state of unconscious incompetence to where they don't even think they need you? And a lot of times they even don't treat you right, to now they not only refer their business, but now they see basically how they can't process these cases without you. See, that's the key. That's the key right there. So if you're interested in learning how to do that, give me a call. It's chiropracticpersonalinjurymarketing.com. Go there, check it out. We have all the systems. But we've been doing this 25 years, and it's unbelievably highly effective. Not only the documentation, but the presentation. And remember, it's an unbelievably huge market, but they're not looking for you. So you not only have to know the documentation, otherwise, if you do get referrals, then they'll find out you don't know what you're doing. And then that's the end of that. So you got to know high sensitivity, high relevancy documentation first. And then when you do know the marketing, that's called, by the way, that marketing is called educational sales. It's very specific and very pointed. But that's also why advertising and publicity doesn't work, is because attorneys aren't looking to refer their clients to chiropractors. But the majority of their cases are low impact soft tissue spinal injury. And there's nobody that owns that market. But the chiropractor can win. He knows high sensitivity, high relevancy documentation, number one. And number two, how to do what's called an educational sales presentation. That's what he did right out of the box. 3 attorneys, gets all the referrals, and there you go. So if you're interested in learning how to increase your personal injury attorney referrals, check us out, chiropracticpersonalinjurymarketing.com. If you have any questions, just give me a call. But that's how you'll increase your business. $100,000 in 90 days, $250,000, $1 million within a year to 18 months, and get more business than you physically can handle. And really the next step is you need to learn how to hire, train, and manage associate doctors, because now you got too much business. That's exactly how it's done. And that's one of the 7 systems I use to open 77 offices in 20 states, seeing over 600,000 patient visits a year. Give me a call, Dr. Paul, chiropracticpersonalinjurymarketing.com. And by the way, the doctor's Dr. John in Massachusetts. Dr. John in Massachusetts. Been practicing 30 years, and he thought he knew personal injury, didn't have any success with it, with attorney referrals and all. And boom, just learned, and then he learned how to do it and just knocked it right out of the park. That's how you do it. Give me a call.